Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Marina project, Ancient Dreams in a Modern Land. This is a brand new album from pop singer Marina Lambrini Diamandis, formerly Marina and the Diamonds, now simply Marina. It's her fifth full-length LP, her first for this decade, and artistically speaking for Marina, this project is a bit of a different outing. Since shortening her name, I feel like Marina's been kind of reinventing herself artistically, getting a bit more ambitious with her music, like her double dose of love and fear on her 2019 record. And Ancient Dreams in a Modern Land isn't nearly as long an album, but somehow it still feels bigger in terms of attitude, message, instrumentals. In so many ways, it sounds like she's beyond the point of giving a shit, while also taking us back to the 80s with these grand presentations of synth-heavy pop and rock. So on quite a few tracks here, she's recreating the instrumental aesthetics of that era, which seems to be a very prevalent trend in the pop world at this point. You can't really listen through a popular music playlist these days without being hit by at least like 4 or 5 80s throwbacks. But Marina is really embracing the camp of this era of music too, and then topping it with these totally unfiltered takes on America, capitalism, patriarchy, female empowerment, and the human condition, which are very heavy topics for a 36-minute pop record. But Marina's concrete bluntness on many of these tracks makes them go off like an atomic bomb. Case in point, the track Purge the Poison, which reads like a "we didn't start the fire" for the 2010s and aughts, combing through some of the cultural chaos of these decades, from Britney shaving her head to the Me Too movement, from the destruction of our environment to all-out war, likening the toxicity driving these events to a poison that must be purged from humanity. Ultimately saying she wants a world where she can see the feminine, which rings like a battle cry over these screaming guitars and synths. Very bright, very blaring. It's excessive, but it gives the message of the song so much weight. Plus the camp in the lead vocals and the melodies throughout the track, it makes the whole thing sound kind of like the theme song to a TV show where a teen girl gains incredible powers or something, which is kind of the vibe on multiple tracks here. I mean, some of you watching may be too young to know what the hell I'm talking about. I can't completely put it into words, but believe me when I say there are tracks on this thing that have a mid-90s sci-fi drama canceled after 2 seasons vibe. Like with the track New America, I close my eyes and I see a cast of characters just being montaged in front of me as the names of the actors that play them just sort of roll out underneath. And look, this is just a very surprising sound and energy to bring to any pop album, and I'm just a little shocked that it's repurposed and brought back to life so sincerely and creatively. Now, occasionally with this sound, I do think Marina goes a tad bit overboard. To a degree, I think there are passages of New America that feel slightly cultish in a way where the song almost becomes a bit what it's trying to satirize, and for sure I know that she was capable of better writing than America, America. Then there's the title track, which sounds like trying to fit a whole manifesto into a straightforward new wave rocker. There are parts of it that are wordy to a fault. Between the Phil Collins drum fills and the somewhat preachy non-conformity mantras, it's a lot. It's a lot. However, I wouldn't necessarily trade it for something milder, because for me, that's exactly where this LP falters, on the tracks that just seem way less out there, frankly. Less urgent in message, too. Like the track Pandora's Box, which is just one instrumental swell away from being a bad, overblown millennial pop sad anthem. The quirk on this one is just too much to bear. But that's also pretty much what the closer Goodbye actually is. If I hear another song with this exact piano progression, with a singer on top of it trying to just be like way too frank, and they're just like being as real as possible, it's just gonna be too soon. Overall, I do like the sentiment of the song, Marina saying goodbye to a part of herself in a way, but there has to have been a better tune to pair this with. I feel more or less the same about the track Flowers too, which kicks off in a way like a sad little Regina Spektor-esque piano ballad with some classically influenced vocals and melodies here and there, but the stripped back piano instrumental is frankly bland, and some of the lyrics read like something someone would would post as inspiration after a breakup on their Tumblr or their Pinterest. Then Highly Emotional People is another moment on the record where I really mess with the message and the sentiment of the song, embracing the idea of sharing your emotions and being a vulnerable person, especially as a guy. But man, for some reason this track sure does sound like Lana Del Rey calling out over some new agey layers of vocal harmonies and synths for some reason. These spots on the record for me are just really tough to reconcile because they're nowhere near as good, nor do they really feel consistent with the rowdier and more socially charged spots on this LP. I Love You, But I Love Me More was another highlight for me though. The haunting, bittersweet melodies over more thunderous pop production was great. Then the song Man's World is really one of the best tracks here in terms of commentary, really targeting the hypocrisy as well as tragedy of male power structures. For me, this track in so many ways is just a distillation of pure beauty and power while also having a lot to say about women over history being sidelined, the persecution of LGBTQ people. The lushness of this instrumental too is incredible, and this is one of the few tracks here that finds a balance between being a ballad and also a banger. So overall, I did like this LP. I think it has to be one of my favorites that I've heard from Marina so far, but the highlights are just too few and far between. From the mellower spots hitting one way and the anthems hitting another, this project for me was kind of lopsided. Surely there are some great, exciting, and novel ideas here, and plus it is refreshing to hear a pop record approach with such radical ideas on gender issues, the economy, the state of the world in general. But as an entire statement and experience, there's just not enough follow-through. Feeling a light 6 on this one, Transition. Have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like, please subscribe, and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. Over here next to my head, it's another video that you can check out. Hit that upworthy link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, Marina, forever.